Hi, my name is Carl Pearson. I'm an attorney practicing law in New York State, and I'm preparing this video on April 3, 2020 during my 19th day of self-imposed quarantine with no coronavirus symptoms and no tests. I'm a Harvard Law School graduate with my law firm defends homeowners against residential 1 to 4 unit foreclosure actions. And at this point, it is interesting because of the possibility of obtaining loan mods that otherwise might not be available. But in any event, I also wrote the ebook entitled How to Get Rid of Your Unwanted Debt, and I have more than 100 YouTube videos on foreclosure defense, among other videos. I see that the national and worldwide economy is going to undergo massive restructuring, particularly when most employees in the U.S. are to lose their jobs and most small businesses in the U.S. are to go out of business or be unable to pay their obligations as they become due. To make things worse, millions may have to wait 5 months for their relief checks, which probably wouldn't make much difference to the recipients anyway. And the CARE Paycheck Protection Program isn't prepared to handle the millions of applications which were to start today. I look at the numerous obligations you and I have to meet, mainly rent, co-op maintenance, mortgage, real property taxes, homeowner association fees, car payments, garage payments, credit card payments, student loans, storage costs, and unpaid taxes. Each of these obligations, other than many credit card obligations, is secured in one way or another, so that non-payment will probably result in a loss of the home, car, stored goods, or tax refunds or pay garnishments, making the secured party even richer and leaving you more impoverished. I don't have much faith in the enactment of laws that will ultimately stop foreclosures or evictions, because this would cause banks to go under, and we know that politicians will do anything to prevent this, even cause you to lose everything you have. So, what is left for you to use in trying to prevent your loss of everything? That's what I'm focusing on here. Let me tell you one little known way to save some of the value of your home, or in some cases, all of the home itself. Even President Trump has made use of this, as explained in another minute or so. This is called the Homestead Exemption, which is far-ranging in outcome depending on the state. Georgia allows only $2,000, whereas Florida exempts the entire place claimed as the home regardless of value. What a difference. You can get the specific information for your state by visiting the nolo.com website, and I give the specific address in my description for this video. I'm going to focus on the New York Homestead Exemption to show you how complicated the homestead exemption can be. First of all, the exemption is usually applied in the bankruptcy court, except for certain real estate tax reductions. New York has 62 counties. The exemption for one spouse is $170,825 in 10 counties. That is the 5 boroughs of New York City and the surrounding Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties. On the other hand, it's a lesser amount, $142,350 in 6 generally upstate counties in New York: Dutchess, Albany, Columbia, Orange, Saratoga, and Ulster, and a mere $85,400 in the remaining 46 counties of the 62 counties in New York State. If both spouses are involved, the homestead exemption doubles. In New York State, the home can be a house, a co-op apartment, which, by the way, is not real estate under New York law, a condo unit, or even a mobile home. In New York State, there is no requirement of making a homestead declaration before claiming the homestead exemption in the bankruptcy court. The statute in New York is CPLR 5206 paren small a, comma, small d, comma, small e. Paren. A wrinkle is that New Yorkers and those from other states have an option to use the federal homestead exemption, which for cases filed on or after April 1, 2019 is $25,150 and $23,675 for cases filed between April 1, 2016 and March 31, 2019. A married couple filing a joint bankruptcy can double the federal homestead exemption amount if they both have an ownership interest in the property. Unless I'm missing something, it doesn't seem that New Yorkers would elect the federal homestead exemption, whereas all Georgia homeowners in bankruptcy would use the federal exemption. So, to sum it up, you could plan to stop making payments on your obligations other than student loans and taxes, which need to be considered separately, especially if you need the money for food, and when forced to file for bankruptcy, use your homestead exemption to retain something for yourself and spouse instead of losing everything. And as an aside, you also might want to start considering where you should be living at the time you file for bankruptcy, since where you're living, the state in which you're living depends, will decide what homestead rights you have. And President Trump took advantage of that. As to unpaid federal taxes and unpaid student loans, you will need to deal with them separately, and you should keep looking for remedial federal legislation as to your student loans. Well, that's all I have to say about the homestead exemption, except it appears that President Trump filed a homestead declaration in Palm Beach County, Florida, in November 2019 to take advantage of Florida's most liberal homestead exemption in the nation. Under the Florida exemption system, homeowners may exempt an unlimited amount of value in their home or other property covered by the homestead exemption. However, the property cannot be larger than half an acre in a municipality or 160 acres elsewhere. The main reason for Donald Trump to change his legal residence to Florida apparently was to protect his valuable property, the 20-acre Mar-a-Lago Club, by filing the homestead exemption form in Palm Beach County. I'm going to start thinking about my next video to help you during this growing economic crisis. So until then, it's been good seeing you. Thank you. Bye.